Previously, we looked at a situation where, bad luck for the firm, the cost rose in such a way that the firm was losing money. Negative profits, not a good world. And what we're going to say is, how does the firm handle it? Well, in the long run, negative profits implies exit. That is, the firm will want out. But we're not in the long run. We are looking at short-run optimization. The firm cannot exit. If the firm can't exit, it only has two choices. It can continue to produce, where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. We know that this particular production point, and we've proved it many different times, this particular production point maximizes profits if you're going to keep producing. But as may be the case, given your fixed costs and all that, you're just going to say, you know what, I'm just going to lock the door. Okay, so the alternative is to what economists call shut down, which basically means you're going to put a padlock on the door and tell the workers to stay home. Life is not good. You're sitting by your phone, you've called your broker, and you said, sell my plant. I need a buyer. I've got to get out of this industry. And your broker says, I'll get right on it, boss, but you know, I'm working at it. So in the meantime, until that phone rings from your broker saying that they found somebody to buy your plant, which, by the way, think about that means now you're in the long run. All inputs are variable in the long run. When the broker calls back and says, hey, I found a buyer for the plant, and if the price is right, you're out of that industry. You can now change capital to zero and go. But in the meantime, sitting there watching that phone, you've got to decide, what am I going to do? Should I have my workers come to work, or should I just put a padlock on the gate and make an announcement on the radio station and stay home? Well, this is called the shutdown condition. And economists have a way to think about this. And so we're going to write it out. The shutdown condition says in the short run, which is where we are, the firm will shut down if total revenue is less than variable cost at the profit maximizing output Q star, where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. Let's think through this problem. Suppose you're losing money. This new tax comes in and it's just a terrible thing, or whatever it is that's raised your cost. You're losing money. Your average cost curve is everywhere above the marginal revenue, which is the price line. There's nothing you can do to make any money. You've called your broker. Your broker's trying to get somebody to buy your plant, and now you got a choice. What do? Well, suppose that your fixed costs are sitting in the corner of the room. They're like $1 million tied up in your plant and equipment. You got to pay that no matter what until the broker calls. You got to pay it. You're in the short run. Now, suppose I told you that you could have your workers come into work that day, and at the end of the day, you would have paid them, like, let's say, $200,000 worth of wages. And as a result of their work that day, the output that they made for you could bring you back $210,000. Well, if the output that they made for you that day is more than what you had to pay them, that means you've got a small amount, in this case just $10,000, to put towards that fixed cost that you wouldn't have if you just told them to stay home. Okay? So anytime the revenue you get, on my laser pointer here, anytime that the revenue that the workers generate more than pays for their cost, you're going to keep operating. If the revenue from the workers is less than their cost, then you're going to shut down. Think about it. Suppose that the workers cost $200,000 to come work that day, and as a result, the number of units of output that they produce times the price you get in the market is $190,000. Well, that means you're losing $10,000 on the workers as well as the $1 million on the fixed cost. That's time to shut down. So anytime the total revenue falls below the variable cost, put a padlock on the door and wait for your broker to call. Anytime total revenue is above or equal to variable cost, I mean, you know, clearly if it's above, you're going to operate. If total revenue is exactly equal to variable cost, well, you know, it's the same. One situation is the same. You're making exactly off the workers that what you paid them. For the good of the community, you'll go ahead. We'll break the tie that way and say we'll keep operating on that situation.